As the federal courtroom buzzes with tension and anticipation, Cassie Ventura takes the stand, her voice steady but eyes reflective of a tumultuous past that once masqueraded as love, glamour, and success. She testifies against Sean Diddy Combs, the music mogul she once adored, at his federal sex trafficking trial. Her words pierce the silence, recounting events that contrast sharply with the glossy memories once projected to the world. Among those now dissonant memories is a once joyous, now chilling escape to Punta Mita, Mexico, a private paradise that served as the backdrop for Diddy's 48th birthday celebration. Back in November of 2017, their relationship was publicly seen as thriving. Paparazzi lenses couldn't capture enough of them. They were the power couple draped in success and dripping in allure. And then there was that trip, a getaway filmed in candid detail, now resurfacing thanks to unreleased footage obtained by TMZ. It was a visual time capsule, one that showed laughter, rhythm, sun-kissed skin, and tightly held hands, but behind the smiles lurked truths yet to be spoken. The villa where they stayed wasn't just any beachfront property. It had a story of its own. The once iconic mansion was perched gracefully on the edge of a private Mexican peninsula, a stunning cinematic location formerly owned by Joe Francis, the infamous founder of the controversial Girls Gone Wild series. That house was a revolving door for the rich and famous. Its previous guests included reality TV royalty like the Kardashians, as well as stars like Eva Longoria and Ashton Kutcher. The mansion stood not just as a physical space but as a symbol of unfiltered luxury, party culture, and excess, an environment that suited Diddy's persona all too well. However, in a twist of fate, the mansion burned down in 2021, becoming yet another relic of a bygone era. In the footage, Diddy and Cassie appear inseparable. They move to the beat of a Spanish tune, their bodies swaying in sync, hips aligned, grins stretched wide. He wraps his arms around her, his grip firm yet performative, and she leans into him, bikini-clad and radiant. It's a dance that, on the surface, looked like affection, but with hindsight, some viewers can't help but sense a quiet resignation in Cassie's eyes, a flicker of melancholy that belied the choreography of Paradise. Was it just a fleeting moment of tiredness, or the exhaustion of a woman weighed down by unspoken trauma? In another scene, Laurieann Gibson, the legendary choreographer behind some of the most iconic routines in pop culture, attempts to teach the couple how to salsa. Cassie extends her arm with elegance, placing her hand gently but deliberately on Diddy's shoulder, following Gibson's lead. Diddy stumbles slightly, his attempt at keeping up both endearing and awkward. But again, there's an undertone to Cassie's movement, a duality between grace and guardedness. Her smile is present but not alive. It's the kind of smile worn when cameras are rolling and escape is not an option. Later in the footage, Diddy is flanked by rapper French Montana and Cassie, surrounded by a chorus of familiar voices singing Happy Birthday. The moment, soaked in festivity, paints the image of a man adored by his peers and a woman happy to be by his side. Candles flicker, the champagne bubbles, and the sun dips below the horizon. Cameras flash as the group poses, immortalizing a night that, at the time, seemed to celebrate unity. Diddy and Cassie sit close, their bodies angled toward each other, a couple in sync, or at least that's what it seemed. But what these videos didn't capture was the reality behind the curated fantasy. What the world didn't know then, and what Cassie has bravely revealed now, is that the relationship was marred by manipulation, control, and deep emotional turmoil. The footage shows affection, but it is affection perhaps born from survival, not safety. Cassie's behavior, once seen as loving, now seems layered in complexity. It is almost as if her movements were choreographed not by a dance instructor, but by the invisible strings of fear and obligation. As she testifies today, her words offer a striking contrast to the visual evidence from that trip. They puncture the myth of the happy couple and force the public to reevaluate everything they thought they knew. She speaks of coercion, of being trapped in a cycle where love was laced with power imbalances and her silence bought with luxury. She outlines how the man who celebrated her on sandy beaches and toasted champagne in her honor was the same man who, behind closed doors, exerted control in ways that left lasting scars. The resurfaced footage now serves not just as nostalgic content for gossip sites, but as critical context in a much darker narrative. It's a jarring reminder of how performative joy can be, especially when it's broadcast to an audience eager to believe in the fantasy. Cassie's testimony adds the painful, unedited director's cut to that glossy highlight reel. Strips away the filters and forces us to see what might have been happening between the frames. There's a specific moment in the video that lingers. Cassie, mid-dance, turns her face just slightly away from the camera, her gaze unfixed. It lasts only a second, maybe less. But for those who have experienced similar situations, that look is all too familiar. It's the look of someone mentally elsewhere, of someone going through the motions. The body dances, but the soul hesitates. Court, that look becomes evidence. Her testimony, raw and unwavering, reframes every hug, every dance step, and every shared glance from that trip. What was once seen as intimacy now carries the weight of implication. What was once a vacation now feels like a stage. The villa in Punta Mita, now reduced to ashes, becomes a metaphor for the relationship itself, a grand display, ultimately destroyed by the very forces that built it. Cassie and Diddy's love story, as portrayed to the public, was one of loyalty, style, and longevity. She had been signed to his label when she was just a teenager. Their professional relationship quickly evolved into a personal one, though rarely confirmed outright in the press. They were private, yet ever present. Their silence spoke volumes. Behind the scenes, the power dynamics were deeply skewed. Diddy was not just her partner. He was her mentor, her boss, and the gatekeeper to her career. To leave him would be to risk everything. And so she stayed. She stayed through the parties and the trips. She stayed through the rehearsals and the award shows. She smiled in photos, posted cryptic captions on social media, and remained the constant at Diddy's side. But beneath the surface, she was unraveling. She was, by her own account, enduring situations that chipped away at her self-worth and agency. It wasn't until years later, after the relationship had officially ended, that Cassie began to reclaim her voice. Now, in this courtroom, she wields that voice with precision. She recalls specific moments of abuse, both physical and emotional. She names places, dates, witnesses. She describes how her freedom was often dangled like a reward, only to be snatched away at the first sign of resistance. Her courage in coming forward has prompted others to revisit their own experiences. It has rippled through the entertainment industry, shaking the foundation of power structures long left unchecked. As the footage from Punta Mita plays silently in the background of the courtroom's collective memory, it functions as both a relic of a performative past and a chilling reminder of how appearances can deceive. The smiles now seem rehearsed, the joy strategic. And Cassie, once seen as the arm candy of a musical titan, is revealed to be something far more complex, a survivor, a truth-teller, and a woman determined to reclaim her narrative. Transformation is profound. In the video, she is led, on the stand, she leads. In the footage, she dances for an audience. In court, she speaks for herself. Her journey from that beachside birthday party to this high-stakes trial is emblematic of a broader reckoning, one where truth is no longer the casualty of image. Every frame of that vacation video has now been recontextualized. It is no longer just a snapshot of happier times. It is evidence of contradiction. It is the silent before to today's stormy after.